GM servers, back with another tutorial. Now that we've gone over all the basics of how the platform looks and different parts and categories and basic concepts of how a workspace works and how you can add agents and define a task and make them work together, let's look at some examples so we can solidify on the basics and understand some basic examples of how you can add and connect different tasks and different agents together, and also some examples of Telegram and Twitter specifically. So to start with, let's look at a very basic example, which is a transcription example, where you can essentially give an input URL of a YouTube video and define very simply to transcribe the YouTube video from the provided URL, and the input being the user provided YouTube video URL, and then provide the output option to be in a text format where you provide a text transcription of the YouTube video that was just transcribed. So this is a very simple example where you can use the audio transcriber agent and give the YouTube URL as the input and then trigger it and then get the file of the generated transcript. So this is a very basic example where once the transcript has been produced, it gets outputted as an output file and you can just view the transcript. Let me see if there's a previous run which has it. All right, moving forward, we've got the Twitter example out here. It's a very simple task where there's a manual trigger and then the input doesn't matter. It's just a basic trigger. Hence, use Luna Crush agent to get you. Yeah, so it's just going to use the agent that has been assigned. I think it's just going to use. You can also, in fact, just say the input is none. There's no requirement of an input, and further a title where it says scrape Elon Musk's latest tweets and summarize. Now here the key concept to learn is if you want to use the Twitter scraping agent or Twitter API in general, you'll have to make sure you have dragged and dropped the Twitter integration to this specific the specific task node that is leveraging the Twitter API or carrying out a task related to Twitter. So in this case, it's already been dropped. Hence, it has access to the Twitter API, and you can also see it here, or you can also drop it in if you wish to, or add a new connection, etc. The assignee is the Twitter scraping agent, and then we've got the description of scrape Elon Musk's latest tweets and create a short summary suitable for a Twitter post within 280 characters, and then further provide a concise summary of it. That's the output option, and further, we have connected this Twitter scraping agent to the general assistant, and the task node of this specific task has the description of post the summary of Elon Musk's latest tweets as a tweet on Twitter. So it uses the output from the previous agent and posts the summary as a tweet for the account that you have added to the task node as an integration. Hence, it consumes the output and then posts the summary as a tweet on Twitter. So this is a very basic setup how you can pretty much scrape some kind of data from Twitter and then further carry out the posting of it autonomously, and also this can be extended to any other specific Twitter API functionalities. Now moving forward, we have got some examples with Telegram trigger. Coming to the Telegram trigger examples, well, as we had previously discussed about the Telegram trigger integration, and also the trigger specifically. It keeps listening for on message events using a Telegram bot API, and then carries out the request based on the workflow you've set up, and then replies to the user once whatever specific task you have asked for is carried out, and then sends back the response. A simple example here would be this case where just a hello led to the research and creation of this report that's been generated and it gets automatically sent onto the chat. This is an example report that was generated by the Research Mini agent over here. Further, we can also carry out more complex tasks like generating a 5-second video based on the user message and then replying to the user with the message, with the video that was just generated. Let's just look at an example of that. In this case, the request by the user was horse riding in the space, and the VO3 agent generated this beautiful video with audio and responded back on Telegram to the user that just requested for that specific 5-second video, for that specific VO3 video. And further, some other examples over here would be the REST API agent, which is a little bit more complex, which we'll discuss later on. And then we've got some other example with research kind of example where you can use the Lunacross agent to research on social metrics that are trending, and just create a report on it and then output it and then kind of generate a video with VO 3.1 post that. So yeah, these are some basic demos that we can play around with, and I just showed you some examples. Maybe I can just try running the Twitter scraping example and see how it works. So once we click on trigger, it goes ahead and we can have a look at the task logs over here. That kind of defines what's going on, and then it fetches the latest 10 tweets by Elon Musk. Let's have a look at the kind of degeneracy that he's been tweeting. And yeah, here's a kind of like a JSON of the Twitter API response, and further a summary is generated, and ideally it automatically posts on my Twitter account. And there you go, voila, there should be a post on my Twitter account with the summary of whatever Elon Musk tweeted. And okay, cool, pretty cool. Yeah, this was an example of the Twitter integration, but yeah, also again, make sure that you have dropped the Twitter integration over here and over here, so that it has access to the Twitter API and can carry out the specific tasks that you've defined. That's a basic summary of all the basic demos. Further, we'll move on to how you can create specialized agents, add them to your workspace and play around with it, and then create a full stack app using that, using the REST API agent and a basic chat front end. Thank you very much.